Surprise, motherfucker!
Crap. Boy, that escalated quickly.
Hey, what's going on, guys? So, I definitely had something on my mind today, and I've actually had it on my mind for several weeks now. I wrote it down. It's definitely one thing I've been wanting to talk about. I know you guys kind of come to my my channel for different guides or different videos just for entertainment, and then sometimes I actually make some life lessons or stuff I want to kind of talk about that's happened in my life that I actually want to share with everybody. Kind of, I want people to learn from my mistakes or learn from, stuff that I was taught and some successes that I had. So hopefully, later on in life or, later in the future, it helps you out tremendously. So I'm going to talk about the topic of mentors and how it affected my life, and hopefully how, later on in the future, depending on, what stage in your life you're in, hopefully, having a mentor and having, that leadership, having somebody to kind of teach you the ways of life or the ways of a job or just, lessons, throughout life. Hopefully that'll affect your life in a positive way, because I know it affected me. So I want to get into this discussion, and hopefully you guys, get something out of it. So the idea of actually talking about being a mentor or just mentorship in general just kind of hit me a couple weeks ago, thinking about it at the fire station. Different people throughout my life, either in the Army, either being back home with my family, or being in the fire service right now. People that have led me through my life in a positive way, teaching me right from wrong, teaching me good ways to be a good example to other people, and teaching me leadership philosophies and how to be a great leader and how to kind of support people and how to be a proper gentleman, I guess, with other people. And I just wanted to kind of start it off with just talking about my family life. My dad and my parents, my grandparents were great mentors to me, being able to treat me, kind of teach me how to be a gentleman. I think that was just the one thing that in life, when I was a little kid, like that was always the thing. My dad was a cop, so he kind of taught me the right from wrong. He always wanted to tell me, don't break your mom's heart if I did something bad or whatnot. And for some reason, like that was enough for me to like not do anything bad. I was not a bad kid whatsoever. And if I did anything bad, I like self-punished myself. I'm like, I'm going to my room. I know I did wrong. Yeah, just stuff like that. Life lessons from that. Having a good mentor of my father being there and trying to, kind of turn me towards a way of, being a proper gentleman, being, courteous to people, saying please, saying thank you, that I don't think a whole lot of people have anymore. I don't really hear too many people when I like hold the door open, like my grandmother used to teach me of holding the door open for somebody, saying please, saying thank you. It's just a weird thing of, stuff like that, stuff that I was taught, by the mentorship of my family, is stuff that's not taught anymore nowadays. And it's just kind of a weird thing that it's like kind of like a dying habit that I really do wish would make a return. But yeah, everything in my life leading up to, ROTC and going to college, and then getting into college, my dad was always like, I want you to be an officer and a gentleman. And the funny thing was, I'm kind of going through college. I'm like, well, I'm going to be an officer, but what does it mean to be a gentleman? So, just like I was talking about, the upbringing that I have, being courteous to people, being nice, treating people with respect. That's what it always took for me to be a gentleman. Always, trying to help people out when I had the time to do it, and if I didn't, try to make time to help people out. Stuff like that, having that mentorship from my family meant a whole lot. And that's why my dad really, my mentor really throughout my life until his passing, definitely helped me out a lot being the person I am today. And definitely just the life lessons that he passed on to me was a great thing to have as, a father to son relationship. It was great. Now, when I went into ROTC, I kind of actually looked up to kind of the upperclassmen, the college sophomores, the juniors, the seniors, and stuff like that, and how to act as, a fresh guy into the ROTC program and a fresh guy into the military. And having that mentorship from the different classes in ROTC definitely helped me out a lot because, I would experience, different stories and whatnot from kids that were older than me or been in the program longer than me. And it helped me, not make the same mistakes that they did or take advantage of different things that, they took advantage of that helped them out in their career. I mean, hell, I got to go to airborne school when I was done with my freshman year in college just because I was adhering to what they were kind of talking about. I was taking their advice and taking everything that they had and trying to turn it into an advantage for myself. But I think the greatest thing that I kind of took away from my whole ROTC experience that led me into, the Army and later on into the fire service, but led me into like the person that I am today, is the fact of I got such good mentorship from my family and from the ROTC program with the kids that were in it, to be a mentor myself. I really wanted to give people the same mentorship that I was. I think that's the one thing in life that we see, constantly, is that people that get mentored by other people, later on that person that's being mentored wants to be a mentor to other people. I think that's the greatest thing that we can possibly give to the next generation, is being that person, being that stepping stone, saying, hey, you know what, these are the mistakes I made. I'm going to lead you, down a proper way that you're not going to make the same mistakes that I did, but you're going to learn, from what I did, and this is how I corrected it. And that is the greatest experience that I had in ROTC. It was a great way to learn, and it's a great way to lead, being able to, support people, being able to lead them down a path, teaching them, not trying to feed them anything, trying to teach them how to, fish for their own fish. It was a great way of trying to teach somebody, great way of learning, and it was a great experience that I ever had in my life of being a mentor to somebody. Now, the funny thing is when I actually get into the Army and acting as or being a second lieutenant in the Army, I had to find a new mentor. I had to find a new mentorship in my Army career. So that's when I kind of looked up to, the captains, the majors that I was kind of under when I was in the Army. And that was a great experience too, because again, I'm learning from people that have been in this Army for far longer than I have. I mean, hell, I was a fresh guy coming into the Army not knowing what the hell was going on. But also too, the NCOs, the sergeants that were there, learning from, what they've experienced, because they, again, had been there longer. And I'm one guy that the one thing that's funny, the way that I lead is, they taught us in ROTC, once you go to your unit, kind of sit back, observe, take a couple of weeks, observe the way that your platoon works, see the way that soldiers work, see the way the sergeants works, and then once you've made your observations and your conclusion of everything, that's when you step forward and you start taking command, and you start taking people down the plans and the pathways that you have. And that's the way that I took my Army career, is I observe everything. I observe the way that people do certain things. That way I have a better perspective on what kind of decisions I want to make and the way that I want to start leading people, and that way you're not stepping on people's feet. You're not coming in here charging in and being an authoritative a tyrant, but you're being somebody that's being respectful to other people in their environment. I mean, hell, you're a newcomer. Even though you're a leader, you're a newcomer to the unit. So having that example of being somebody that's in a leadership role but being somebody new definitely helped out, because I could look up not only to people that had been there higher rank than me, but I could also look down to people that were lower ranked than me, but had been there for, much longer, but also too getting life experience from people that have grown up, different sides of the country. I mean, I think that's a great thing that I've experienced, is getting different perspectives of everybody's situation in life. I always try to do that because that, raises the horizon for me, because now I have a more understanding of what people go through that maybe I didn't go through as a kid or as a young adult. I still try to do that. I try to get everybody's perspective, and that's all. That all has to do with being a mentor or being a leader in general. Having that mentorship of gaining more knowledge, reading books, going through the different news things, doing everything that you possibly can to be a well versed and well knowledgeable person. That way you can pass down more knowledge to everything. And again, everything that I learned in the Army, being able to lead people, being able to, read people, being able to just, know what's kind of going on, and having that mentorship to show me where I'm going, helped me out again in the fire service, because I know, the people that have been experienced, again, I go ahead and follow them. I try to learn the skills that they've been here, for 36 years or whatever, and I try to learn, from the mistakes they have, or, shortcuts that they have on the fire ground. Definitely helps me out as a firefighter, because again, I'm learning from their past mistakes, and having that mentorship, even if you're a young person like I was in college, and mentoring somebody younger that's just coming in, was a great experience for me, and it gave me a leadership experience as well. So at the end of the day, I really just wanted to get out this message of how important it is to be a mentor and a leader. To me, you know, the different life experiences that I had, the different life lessons I got from people that were my mentors, whether that be people that are older or younger, or, you know, even people today that are kind of helping me out with my YouTube career that I consider, you know, great friends, but I consider them also to be mentors because they're always somebody that I can go to, that I can always ask questions on, and can always, you know, are always happy to help me out with anything. Is just one thing I really want to pass down to everybody. I want you to challenge yourself to be a mentor, to be a leader, to be there for somebody that needs you most, and just kind of see how it goes. I really want to kind of change people's idea of kind of just sitting back, not really doing anything, and being a more active person in their life, a more active person in other people's lives that might need your help, that might be, you know, it might have been in the previous position that you were, that you know, now you might have been promoted, or, you know, just experience life the same way that you are, that don't have the certain set of skills or the certain life lessons that you do. So I really do want to challenge everybody out there to be a mentor to somebody, you know, pass your knowledge on to somebody, because you have no idea how effective and how much it's going to affect somebody's life. It has affected my life. I'm 28 years old, still have mentors to this day. I know I'm going to be, you know, 60 years old. I'm going to have mentors in their 80s or whatever, but I'm always going to be able to learn something new from somebody else, you know, throughout life. So I really want to challenge you guys out there, young or old, be a mentor to somebody, change someone's life, and be there for somebody that might not have had you, you know, beforehand. So guys, I would love to know down in the comments below, you know, what type of mentors did you guys have, or if you had a mentor, I would really love to know. I want to know, you know, the different experiences that you've had and the different lessons you've learned either at home or at work. So I really hope you guys liked this video. I wanted to just kind of put my thoughts out there of how important mentorship and leadership is. So I really hope you guys got something out of it. If you guys did, please drop me a like. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel. I always appreciate all the help and support that you guys are giving me. But at the end of the day, guys, have a great rest of the day, and I will see you guys next time.